Ah, yes, winter. The time when the world turns cold, dark, and hopefully covered in snow. It warrants a party, doesn't it? A proper festival. Well, I don't know how you celebrate the darkening of days and the huddling around the fire, but here we make the journey to Winterhome, a small village in the snowy mountains where the local inhabitants facilitate a fabulous celebration of wintry delight. Tonight I will tell you a story about a specific patron, dear to my heart, who changed the future of Winterhome forever. If you have ever been here, chances are you've been welcomed by me, Albert Yule, the local town crier. This story begins much the same way, with me showing this new guest around town. Come here for your source of all things festival in Winterhome. I am glad to give you any information you seek. Yes, what's that, my dear patron? Do you have a question for me? About our events? Of course, we have those aplenty. Come, let me show you around. Here we have an iconic event, the eating competition. Stuff your face with pie, bread, or berries and wash it down with a mystery drink. Take care though, the clock is running and your eyes may be bigger than your mouth. You can always try again, the ovens run hot all day long. Now that we're here, follow me to the outskirts of town. This is one of our local artists, Virgil. He has dedicated himself to decorating the snowfields with beautiful snowmen or women. Build some yourself, if you dare place them next to those of a professional. You can find the required decorations spread around town, and the natural materials are all around us. Close by is the enterprise of Cecil, who is always in for some entertainment. Do you wish to show who is the most proficient at Yuletide combat? Challenge your fellow patrons in the snowball arena. Just make sure you give as good as you get. Let's quickly return to the town. I'm getting a bit cold from all the snowballs seeping into my clothes. Now, if you are of the exuberant sort, there's another rather unique activity. For that, we go to the Frostbluff Theatre. If you are so inclined, you can partake in a public play. The Curious Disappearance of Matt Baggins. It seems to be a popular Hobbit story. Personally, I feel I may be missing some of the cultural references there. Do make sure you know your lines. You would not want to make a fool out of yourself. So, I hope you are now sufficiently acquainted with the festival, and I hope you enjoy yourself. If you are interested in more, there are always opportunities for inquisitive visitors to help with the organization. You can help collect berries, mushrooms and eggs for the eating competition, collect firewood for the oven, cleaning spills, and make sure there are enough drinks to go around. That said, there is something I ought to explain to you. Not all in Winterhome is as it seems. You see, there has been some dissent since we have a new mayor, Mr. Winston Goodenough. Do you see that shivering lass over there? She used to be employed by the mayor to help set up the festival, but since she and some others complained about the pay, they were let go. If you are feeling charitable, you could donate some funds to them, although the town guard Kember would rather have you move them off somewhere else, out of sight. Your choice, ultimately. You could try and have a word with the workers if you feel any affinity, though I've heard the mayor also wishes to speak with you. Well, whatever you do, I hope you enjoy yourself. And so the honorable patron walked off, and had a chat with Daily Utteridge, one of the workers who still has job, and is a kind soul. Daily told of the guard having patrons send the laid-off workers out in the cold. There, the poor buggers are threatened by horrible cold, abominable snow beasts, and grouchy trolls. Those trolls look eerily similar to the wood that we use to fuel the braziers in the oven. Better not think about that for too long. Yes. Then the mayor wanted the word. He wished to have someone spy on the workers, fearing dissent. But the honorable patron played the role perfectly and became a double agent. After handing out some coins to the freezing workers, the search led the patron to a small fortified house at the edge of the frozen lake, where one of the guards was seen stashing the mayor's ledgers. There the patron was greeted by a guard, who intended to hand out a proper beating to nosy people. Luckily, our patron was made of sterner stuff than the guard in question. Then the resident banker came out, Mr. Archbluff. The patron dispatched him quickly enough and secured a receipt, with which they would present me. Well met, my friend. Have you been enjoying our lovely festival? What's that you say? You've uncovered some interesting information about our mayor? Let's hear it, I suppose. I see. Our mayor has chosen to invest in some pretty suspicious organizations. Whoever it was seems to have wished to remain nameless. It is signed as the Southerner, and the document mentions some conflict down south. Well, great job, my dear patron. I think this document could prove very coercive for old Winston. And so the honorable patron confronted the mayor with his conduct, and had the workers reinstated and their wages set right. The mayor could make do with a little less, while the poor workers lived off of a little more. The patron was rewarded with the trappings of a Yule craftsman out of gratitude. Our town was set right, and our esteemed banker was too busy peering down his tankard to ever make a corrupt transaction again. But wait, did not we do this last year? And the year before? Come to think of it, the workers were paid in Yule tokens. Even the alms were given in Yule tokens, which they accepted with gratitude. The only food being sold here are rations, and those can only be traded with regular coin. How did they even live off the job? The work is quite intense, with all these patrons running around, doing errands. Hold on a minute! All the food is collected and largely prepared by the patrons. They even clean the tables. They play in the theater, collect the firewood, build snowmen. What do all these workers even do? Who even lives in these houses? There are only 25 people from here. The rest of them are all traveling merchants and actors. Actors? Is it all fake? The workers? The mayor? Is everyone an actor? How long have I been here? How many patrons have I shown around this town? All I remember is this festival, over and over again, and then nothing. Till the next winter comes. When did I even get here? There are no roads in, no roads out, there are no safe places up north. Where are we anyhow? Hello everyone. So this video was a bit of an experiment on my part, but I really wanted to make a video on the Yule Festival, as it is my favorite festival in LOTRO. I wanted to take this moment to wish you all a belated Merry Christmas and a early Happy New Year. Thank you all so much for subscribing and watching my videos these past months. 550 subs does not sound like much, but for a small player base like the one LOTRO has, it does feel like a nice crowd. 2022 has been a really smashing year for LOTRO, with the 15th anniversary, the Before the Shadow update, and all the attention the game has been getting thanks to Rings of Power. I hope to see you all in 2023, and let's see where we end up in our journey through Middle Earth and what Standing Stone Games has cooked up for us. And do not worry, I have been working on the Helm's Deep video and it will come out hopefully somewhere in January. See you all next time.